The interstellar vessel Prometheus glided silently through the vast emptiness of space, its sleek titanium hull reflecting the distant starlight. Commander Marcus Rodriguez stood at the bridge, his weathered hands clasped behind his back, eyes fixed on the holographic display that mapped their unprecedented journey. This was humanity's first deep space exploration mission beyond the solar system's established outposts, a testament to decades of technological advancement and unbridled human curiosity. Navigation report, Marcus called out, his voice calm but charged with an underlying tension. Lieutenant Emma Kawecki, a brilliant young navigator with piercing green eyes and a reputation for precision, responded immediately. "We're approaching the Kepler 452 system, Commander," she reported, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "Preliminary scans are showing anomalous energy signatures that don't match any known natural phenomena." Marcus nodded, a slight smile playing on his lips. Anomalies were precisely what they had come to investigate. The Prometheus wasn't just an exploration vessel, it was a marvel of human engineering, equipped with the most advanced sensor arrays and defensive systems ever conceived. Dr. Rajiv Patel, the mission's chief xenobiologist, approached the command console. His dark eyes sparkled with scientific excitement. "The energy signatures are consistent with technological origin," he said, barely containing his enthusiasm. "We might be on the verge of humanity's first confirmed contact with an extraterrestrial civilization." The bridge crew fell silent. Every member of the Prometheus had trained for years, knowing that this moment could redefine humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. They were pioneers, representatives of an entire species venturing into the unknown. Suddenly, the ship's advanced quantum communication system crackled to life. A series of complex mathematical sequences began streaming across the primary display, unlike anything in human communication databases. Lieutenant Kawecki's fingers flew across her console, attempting to decode the transmission. "It's not random," Dr. Patel observed, leaning closer. "These are mathematical sequences. Almost like a greeting." Before anyone could respond, a massive vessel materialized on their long-range scanners. Its design was nothing like human spacecraft, organic, fluid, with curves that seemed to defy conventional engineering principles. It dwarfed the Prometheus, its hull shimmering with an iridescent quality that suggested technologies far beyond human comprehension. Commander Rodriguez straightened, his military training kicking in. "Defensive systems to stand by," he commanded. "But do not, I repeat, do not initiate any hostile actions." The alien vessel approached, and for several tense moments, nothing happened. Then, a communication channel opened. Not with sound or traditional visual communication, but with a series of complex holographic projections that began to form intricate patterns around the Prometheus's bridge. Dr. Patel's hands moved unconsciously, attempting to interpret the holographic language. "They're trying to communicate," he whispered. "But their method of communication is so fundamentally different from ours." Lieutenant Kawecki managed to isolate part of the transmission. "It seems they're expressing curiosity. Maybe even surprise at our presence." The holographic projections shifted, revealing glimpses of what appeared to be the alien vessel's interior. Beings with multiple limbs and translucent, almost crystalline bodies moved with a grace that suggested both intelligence and an entirely different evolutionary path. "They don't see us as a threat," Marcus realized. "They see us as an curiosity." Little did the crew of the Prometheus know that this first encounter would be the spark that would change the course of human history. Humanity was about to demonstrate that being underestimated was often the most dangerous mistake an advanced civilization could make. As the alien vessel continued its intricate communication dance, Marcus Rodriguez allowed himself a moment of pride. Humanity had arrived on the interstellar stage, and they were ready to show the universe exactly what they were made of. The weeks following the first contact were a whirlwind of scientific discovery and global anticipation. Back on Earth, the data transmitted by the Prometheus sparked a revolution in scientific thinking. The holographic communication from the alien vessel had revealed mathematical principles so advanced that they made current human technology look primitive by comparison. At the Global Xenotechnology Research Center in New Geneva, Dr. Elena Rodriguez, no relation to Commander Marcus Rodriguez, worked tirelessly. Her team had been analyzing the alien transmission data, and what they discovered was both terrifying and exhilarating. The mathematical sequences were more than just a communication method, they were a complex blueprint of technological principles that humanity had only dreamed of. "It's like they've handed us the keys to an entire new understanding of physics," Dr. Rodriguez explained during an emergency briefing with the United Earth Council. Her colleague, Dr. Akira Nakamura, stood beside her, holographic displays dancing with complex equations and alien mathematical constructs. The alien communication had revealed critical insights into quantum entanglement, energy manipulation, and spatial dynamics that went far beyond current human understanding. More importantly, it presented a challenge, and an opportunity, that humanity had never encountered before. Commander Rodriguez, now back on Earth after the Prometheus's historic mission, watched the briefing with a mix of pride and concern. The initial peaceful contact had quickly transformed into a high-stakes technological race. Military strategists and scientific advisors were divided. Some saw the alien communication as a potential threat, while others viewed it as the greatest scientific opportunity in human history. "We can't simply sit back and wait," Dr. Rodriguez argued to the Council. "These mathematical principles suggest defensive technologies that could revolutionize our space exploration and planetary protection capabilities." The breakthrough came unexpectedly. Dr. Nakamura, working late one night in the lab, discovered a way to adapt the alien mathematical principles to human technological frameworks. It was a quantum leap in defensive technology, a system that could potentially create localized energy fields capable of neutralizing advanced weapon systems. Project Aegis was born. Military and scientific teams worked around the clock to develop the technology. The system was unlike anything humanity had ever conceived, a defensive network that could potentially protect entire planetary systems from external threats. It utilized the quantum entanglement principles hidden within the alien communication, creating an adaptive shield that could dynamically respond to different types of energy attacks. Meanwhile, the Prometheus continued its mission of exploration and communication. Commander Marcus Rodriguez knew they were treading a delicate line. The alien vessel that had first contacted them remained at a distance, observing, waiting. Lieutenant Emma Kawecki spent countless hours attempting to refine the communication protocols. The holographic language was maddeningly complex, a blend of mathematical sequences and spatial representations that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. "They're testing us," she told Dr. Patel during one of their late-night analysis sessions. "Every communication is like a puzzle, a challenge to see if we can understand." As Project Aegis took shape, humanity began to realize that the first contact was more than just a meeting of two civilizations. It was a subtle probe, an examination of human potential. The aliens had not come to conquer or destroy, they had come to assess. And humanity was about to show them exactly what they were capable of. The first test of Project Aegis would come sooner than anyone expected. Tensions were rising, and the delicate balance of this first interstellar encounter was about to be tested in ways no one could have predicted. Humanity stood at the precipice of a new era, armed with knowledge that could either save them or destroy them. The first sign of trouble came as a subtle vibration, a quantum resonance that rippled through the advanced sensors of the Prometheus. Commander Marcus Rodriguez felt the change before anyone else, a prickling sensation at the back of his neck that spoke of decades of military intuition. "Multiple energy signatures detected," Lieutenant Emma Kawecki announced, her voice tight with concentration. "They're unlike anything in our previous scans. It's like, they're probing our defenses." Dr. Rajiv Patel moved to the secondary console, his fingers flying across the holographic interface. "It's a test," he muttered. "They're measuring our technological capabilities." The alien vessel that had first made contact now maintained a calculated distance, close enough to observe, far enough to retreat if necessary. But this was no longer a passive observation. The quantum signatures suggested a more aggressive intent, a deliberate challenge to humanity's newfound technological understanding. At the Global Xenotechnology Research Center, Dr. Elena Rodriguez watched the data streams with growing concern. Project Aegis was about to receive its first real-world test, and the stakes couldn't be higher. "Activate preliminary defense protocols," she commanded her team. The room hummed with energy as the quantum entanglement shields developed from the alien mathematical principles began to respond. Back on the Prometheus, the tension was palpable. Commander Rodriguez knew they were more than just a research vessel now, they were humanity's first line of defense in an encounter that could define the species' future. "Full spectrum analysis," he ordered. "I want to know exactly what they're doing." The alien vessel began to emit a complex series of energy pulses, each one seemingly designed to test a different aspect of human defensive capabilities. It was a methodical assault, probing for weaknesses, measuring responses. Dr. Patel's voice cut through the tension. "They're not trying to destroy us," he realized. "They're evaluating us. This is a test of our technological and strategic capabilities." Lieutenant Kawecki managed to partially decode the energy signatures. "It's like a challenge," she said, her eyes wide with realization. "They want to see how we respond." Project Aegis came to life in spectacular fashion. The quantum shields developed by Dr. Rodriguez and her team responded to each energy pulse with an adaptive defense mechanism that not only absorbed the incoming energy but began to analyze and categorize it. "We're learning from them even as they test us," Dr. Nakamura observed from the research center. The alien energy pulses were providing unprecedented insights into advanced quantum technologies. The challenge escalated. The alien vessel intensified its probing, sending increasingly complex energy patterns that would have overwhelmed any existing human defensive system. But Project Aegis was no ordinary defense network. Commander Rodriguez watched in awe as the ship's systems not only withstood the assault but began to generate counter-resonance frequencies. They weren't just defending, they were communicating back, responding to the alien challenge with a language of technology and quantum mechanics. "They're treating this like a dialogue," Dr. Patel said, a note of wonder in his voice. "Not an invasion. Not a war. A conversation." As hours passed, the energy exchange became more intricate. The alien vessel seemed to pause, recalibrate, then send new, more complex signals. It was as if they were engaged in an elaborate chess match, each move revealing more about the other's capabilities. Dr. Elena Rodriguez understood first. "They're not our enemies," she told the United Earth Council during an emergency transmission. "They're our first true interstellar teachers." The Prometheus had become more than a ship. It was humanity's ambassador, proving that when faced with the unknown, humans didn't just survive, they adapted, they learned, they evolved. As the quantum dance between human and alien technology continued, one thing became clear: humanity was ready to take its place among the stars. Not as conquerors, not as victims, but as equals. The turning point had come. And no one, human or alien, could have predicted exactly how it would unfold. The quantum dialogue between humanity and the alien civilization had transformed into something far more complex than anyone could have anticipated. What began as a tentative first contact had evolved into a sophisticated technological exchange that challenged everything humanity understood about interstellar communication. Deep within the Sol system, Earth's planetary defense network came alive with the technologies developed from the alien encounter. The Global Defense Command, once a network of traditional military installations, had been completely reimagined. Now it was a living, breathing system of quantum adaptive defenses that drew directly from the mathematical principles discovered during the Prometheus's first contact. General Victoria Okoye, head of Earth's planetary defense, stood in the central command center. Her dark eyes tracked multiple holographic displays showing potential threat vectors from across the solar system. The room hummed with an energy that was part technological marvel, part human determination. Incoming multiple contact signatures, announced Major Carlos Reyes, his hands moving across a quantum-responsive interface. They're not like anything in our previous threat models. The alien vessel that had first contacted the Prometheus was no longer alone. A flotilla of ships had begun to appear at the edges of the solar system, not in an aggressive formation, but in a pattern that suggested systematic exploration. Dr. Elena Rodriguez and Dr. Akira Nakamura worked frantically, translating the new quantum signatures. These aren't conventional weapon signatures, Dr. Rodriguez explained to the United Earth Council. They're more like probes. Sophisticated information-gathering systems that go beyond traditional scanning technology. Commander Marcus Rodriguez, now acting as a primary liaison between the Prometheus mission and Earth's defense forces, understood the implications immediately. They're testing our entire planetary defense network, he realized. Not to attack, but to understand. The first real test came quickly. A concentrated energy pulse, far more intense than the previous quantum exchanges, swept through the solar system. Traditional defense systems would have been completely overwhelmed. But Project Aegis was anything but traditional. The quantum shields developed from the alien mathematical principles responded in a way that defied conventional understanding. Instead of simply blocking the energy, the planetary defense network began to analyze it, categorize it, and most remarkably, communicate back. We're not just defending, Dr. Nakamura said, his voice filled with excitement. We're engaging in a form of technological dialogue. Lieutenant Emma Kawecki, monitoring the communications from the Prometheus, noticed something extraordinary. The energy pulses were becoming more complex, more nuanced. It was as if the alien civilization was teaching humanity as much as testing them. Suddenly, the defense network did something unexpected. It began to generate counterfrequencies that not only neutralized the incoming energy but started to send back complex mathematical sequences, a language of technology that went beyond words. General Okoye watched in awe as the planetary defense system transformed before her eyes. This isn't just about protection anymore, she whispered. This is first contact on an entirely new level. The alien flotilla seemed to pause. Their ships, organic, fluid, unlike any human design, held position. The quantum exchanges continued, becoming increasingly sophisticated. It was a dance of technology, of intelligence, of mutual exploration. Dr. Rajiv Patel, analyzing the data streams, made a breakthrough. They're not seeing us as a potential threat, he explained to the stunned council members. They're seeing us as a potential partner. A civilization with the capacity to understand and adapt. As the hours passed, the solar system became a crucible of interstellar communication. Earth's defense network was no longer just a shield, it had become a bridge between two civilizations, a testament to humanity's ability to turn a potential conflict into an opportunity for understanding. Commander Rodriguez looked at the holographic displays, a smile playing on his lips. Humanity had done more than survive, they had proven their worth on a cosmic stage. The planetary defense was more than a system of protection. It was humanity's first true conversation with the universe. The quantum dialogue had evolved into something unprecedented. What began as a potential conflict had transformed into the most sophisticated technological exchange in human history. The alien civilization's approach was unlike any form of communication humanity had ever encountered, a complex, multidimensional interaction that challenged every fundamental understanding of interaction, diplomacy, and technological exchange. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood before a massive holographic display in the Global Xenotechnology Research Center, her team working around the clock to decode the increasingly complex quantum signatures. This isn't just communication, she told Dr. Akira Nakamura. It's a form of technological warfare, but not through destruction. Through understanding. The Prometheus, now the primary interface between humanity and the alien civilization, had become more than a ship. It was a living laboratory of interstellar communication. Commander Marcus Rodriguez watched as Lieutenant Emma Kawecki developed increasingly sophisticated translation algorithms that went far beyond traditional linguistic approaches. "We're not translating language," Kawecki explained during a briefing. "We're translating entire conceptual frameworks. It's like they're teaching us an entirely new way of thinking about information, technology, and existence." Dr. Rajiv Patel had discovered something extraordinary. The quantum exchanges contained more than just information, they were a form of technological evolution. Each interaction was a test, a challenge, a method of mutual assessment that went beyond simple communication. "They're pushing our technological limits," Patel told the United Earth Council. "But not to destroy us. They're helping us evolve." The alien flotilla maintained its position at the edges of the solar system, sending increasingly complex quantum pulses. Earth's defense network, now a living, adaptive system, responded with a sophistication that would have been impossible mere months ago. General Victoria Okoye watched as the planetary defense system began to anticipate and interpret the alien signals before they fully materialized. "We're not just defending," she realized. "We're learning to think like them." A breakthrough came unexpectedly. During one particularly intense quantum exchange, the defense network generated a response that was more than just a defensive measure. It was a complex mathematical sequence that proposed an entirely new approach to energy manipulation. The alien ships paused. Then, for the first time, they sent back a signal that was unmistakably a form of acknowledgement. Not a threat. Not an attack. But recognition. "They see us," Commander Rodriguez whispered, watching the holographic displays. "Really see us." The technological warfare continued, but its nature had fundamentally changed. Each quantum pulse was a challenge, each response a demonstration of human potential. The aliens were no longer testing their defenses, they were exploring their capabilities. Dr. Nakamura discovered that the quantum exchanges contained blueprints for technologies that went beyond current human understanding. Quantum communication systems that could transmit information across vast distances instantaneously. Energy generation methods that could power entire civilizations with minimal resource consumption. Adaptive technological systems that could learn and evolve in real time. "They're not just sharing technology," he told Dr. Rodriguez. "They're showing us how to think differently." On the Prometheus, Lieutenant Kawecki made a breakthrough that would change everything. She discovered a pattern in the quantum exchanges, a rhythm that suggested the aliens were not just communicating, but teaching. Each pulse was a lesson, each response an opportunity for growth. The United Earth Council realized they were witnessing something unprecedented. This was not a conflict. This was not an invasion. This was first contact in its purest form, a meeting of minds, of technologies, of potential. As the quantum exchanges continued, humanity stood at the precipice of a new era. They were no longer just a planetary civilization. They were becoming something more. A civilization ready to take its first true steps into the universe. The moment of true understanding came not with a grand gesture, but with a subtle quantum pulse that reverberated through every system connected to Project Aegis. It was a communication that transcended traditional boundaries, a message that spoke of potential, of growth, of a universe far more interconnected than humanity had ever imagined. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood in the Global Xenotechnology Research Center, her hands trembling slightly as she interpreted the final quantum sequence. "It's an invitation," she told Dr. Akira Nakamura, her voice barely above a whisper. "Not just to communicate. To join." Commander Marcus Rodriguez gathered the Prometheus's core team, Lieutenant Emma Kawecki, Dr. Rajiv Patel, and the others who had been at the forefront of this unprecedented first contact. The ship's command center hummed with a sense of anticipation that went beyond mere scientific discovery. "We're not just making first contact anymore," Commander Rodriguez explained to his team. "We're being asked to become part of something larger." The alien flotilla had transformed. What once appeared as a potential threat now revealed itself as an intricate network of exploration vessels. Each ship seemed to pulse with a living energy, a technological ecosystem that was as much alive as it was mechanical. General Victoria Okoye watched from Earth's Defense Command as the quantum exchanges reached their culmination. The planetary defense network that had once been a shield was now a bridge, a complex communication system that spoke a language of mathematics, technology, and mutual understanding. Dr. Patel made a breakthrough that would change everything. The quantum pulses were more than just communication, they were an invitation to a galactic network of civilizations. Humanity was not being conquered or threatened. They were being evaluated as potential partners in a vast, interconnected technological civilization. They've been watching us, Patel explained to the United Earth Council. Not to determine if we're a threat, but to understand if we're ready to grow beyond our planetary boundaries. Lieutenant Koweki's translation algorithms had evolved into something far more profound. She could now interpret the quantum exchanges not just as language, but as a form of collective consciousness. Each pulse contained layers of meaning, technological blueprints, philosophical concepts, and a deep understanding of cosmic interconnectedness. The final communication came during a moment of profound silence. A quantum sequence that was simultaneously a map, a philosophy, and an invitation. The alien civilization was offering humanity something unprecedented, a chance to join a network of civilizations that had transcended traditional concepts of war, conflict, and individual survival. We're being asked to evolve, Dr. Nakamura realized. Not just technologically, but as a species. The Prometheus became more than a ship. It became a symbol of humanity's potential, a vessel that had transformed a potential conflict into an opportunity for unprecedented growth. The quantum exchanges had revealed that true strength was not about defense, but about understanding. Commander Rodriguez looked at his team, scientists, explorers, representatives of humanity's best and brightest. We're not just exploring the universe anymore, he said. We're being invited to become part of it. As the final quantum pulse settled, humanity stood at a crossroads. They had proven themselves not through military might, but through adaptability, curiosity, and an unquenchable desire to understand. The universe had tested them, and they had passed with a brilliance that went beyond any single civilization's expectations. The stars seemed to shimmer with possibility. Humanity was ready.